Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? It is Monday, September 26, 2016. People, turn on any of the mainstream financial channels right now, and you're going to hear all kinds of talk about what's going on with the European banks, Deutsche Bank specifically, but there are more. What am I referring to? Well, it's kind of been flying under the radar, at least on the mainstream, for quite a while now, but the banks are in trouble. Just look here. Look at what happened to Wells Fargo here. There's so much corruption and so much rigging going on across all of these institutions that it's frankly off the charts. I mean, you remember the LIBOR rigging? There's rigging going on with regard to the physical commodities markets and these banks. I mean, you could go on and on. Here's the main issue with what is occurring right now with regard to these banks, and it's something I've covered at length. They're insolvent. Understand, the banks are insolvent. That's how they operate. Their business model makes them insolvent from the get-go. What does that mean? Well, first of all, your cash isn't even there. It's called a fractional reserve system. That's how the banks operate. If you don't know what that is, do a little homework today and find out what a fractional reserve system is. Now, what I can promise you, and that is the premise of this entire video, is these banks are not in any kind of trouble. Not at all. You are. You're in trouble. Just like last time. You remember we had to bail out the banking system? You remember all that? The TARP? Well, you remember Cyprus as well? All the bail-ins that happened over there? Look, here's the hard, cold fact. Your cash that is being held by these institutions is going to be used in whatever manner that they need to bail out these institutions. And it's going to come from there, from your accounts, and other ways as well. There is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that we are clearly marching straight down, well, not even the same, but a much more dangerous path than we were in 2008. And we have fixed nothing. The banking system itself is a dead man walking. And that means, well, think about what that means for you. Now, if you think, or if you believe that if one of these banks, Deutsche Bank, for example, that's getting all the headlines right now, is going to fail, you got a big surprise coming. You're going to fail. You're going to bail them out. Your cash is going to be held hostage. You will not have access to it. I don't care what it says that you have in your bank account right now. First of all, it's not there. Again, it's the fractional reserve banking system. If supposedly $10,000 in your checking account or your savings account, it's not there. These numbers exist only in digital form. It's not real. Understand? So once you put your cash into one of these institutions, you now become a supporter of that institution. Period. That's how it works. And if they need, and they will, your cash to survive, well, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. This just goes back to the premise that I have been saying for years is get out of their system. Don't play their game. Bet against their system, because their system is going to fail. And the people that have their cash trapped in there are stuck and done and finished. So that means you need to be taking the opposite side of that trade. Holding units of wealth, not units of debt. Understand? I know you do if you follow this blog, but I just have to sit there this morning. I'm listening to the European banking issue. You remember the whole European debt crisis? You remember that? Well, guess what? It still exists today. They didn't fix anything. But for the masses of people that have been dumbed down beyond the point of belief, well, they think it's fixed. They think everything is great now, despite the fact that we have world central banks that have done nothing but inflate a bubble in debt, which is the greatest threat to human life, period, greater than nuclear exchange, because we're going to face a resource issue problem at one point. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, I just wanted to bring this to your attention here, that these banks have no problem at all, and this has all been factored into the equation. You've been hearing from a lot of people over the past several years, me too, saying there's going to be bail-ins. So it's not the banks. It is not these banks that are in trouble. It is you, my friend. You're in trouble. All right. With that said, I hope this made sense to you. See you tomorrow.